Grandmother's Empty Home. Mrs. Anna was an old grandmother who lived alone in a small, cozy house in the countryside. The house had a big garden full of colorful flowers, a wooden rocking chair on the porch, and a small fireplace that kept her warm during winter. Once, this house was filled with laughter, the sound of little feet running around, and the delicious smell of homemade pies. But now, it was quiet. Too quiet. Her 3 children, Peter, Sarah, and David, had all grown up and moved to the city for work. They were busy with their jobs, their families, and their daily lives. They called her sometimes and sent her pictures, but it was not the same as having them at home. Mrs. Anna missed their voices, their laughter, and the way they used to hug her. Every morning, she sat by the window with a cup of tea, watching the road. She hoped, just maybe, she would see one of them walking towards the house. But no one came. To keep herself busy, Mrs. Anna took care of her garden. She watered the flowers, pulled out the weeds, and talked to the little birds that visited her. One small yellow bird, in particular, came every day. She named it Sunny. "At least you are here to keep me company," she said one morning as she sprinkled some seeds on the ground. One evening, as she was knitting a warm scarf, she sighed deeply. "I wish my children would visit," she whispered to herself. She understood they were busy, but her heart longed to see them. Days passed, and one afternoon, as Mrs. Anna was sitting on her porch, she heard something surprising, a car coming up the road. Her heart started beating fast. She stood up and walked closer to the gate. Then, she saw them, Peter, Sarah, and David. They were standing there with big smiles and bags full of gifts. "Surprise, Mama!" they shouted. Tears filled her eyes as she ran to hug them. "Oh, my dear children! I missed you so much," she said, holding them tightly. "We missed you too, Mama," Sarah said. "We know we haven't visited for a long time, but we are here now." David held up a basket. "And we brought your favorite apple pie." That evening, the house was full of laughter again. They sat around the fireplace, sharing stories, eating delicious food, and enjoying each other's company. Mrs. Anna felt warm and happy. Before they left, Peter held her hands and said, "We promise to visit more often, Mama. You are never alone." Mrs. Anna smiled, her heart full of love. No matter how far her children went, their love would always bring them back home. Like, share and subscribe for more stories.